Hello, everybody. Dr. Rick Wallace here, dropping in on you. I hope that everybody's having a good start to their week. As for me, extremely busy. I'm excited about some new things that are going on. The book Critical Mass is really taking off. It's a little, matter of fact, it's a little ahead of us. We weren't expecting it to take off so well, so we're actually having to adjust to the growing pains of having to deliver on these orders. I'm excited about that. I'm excited about some other things that are going on that we have in the planning processes for what we're going to do with critical mass as a concept, what we're going to be doing in the future with the Visionetics Institute and how we're going to be reaching out and touching. I want to just stop by here. Of course, somebody would come by in the middle. Hold on a second. I have a laundry. Sorry about that. I mean, of all the time. But anyway, look, I want to stop and talk to you real quickly about something that was on my mind. I'm really starting to look at ways that I can reach out to you guys, touch you guys in areas that is going to add value to what you're trying to do on a daily basis. One of the questions I get a lot of when I speak or when I'm dealing with clients in the early stages of the programs that I work with them, I design specific programs for my clients depending on what they're trying to accomplish. One of the most common questions, let me turn this off. One of the most common questions is what separates people who perform and people who don't, people who are successful, people who are not, people who have great businesses, people who have great marriages, people who have unbelievable success in finance. Is there some element of giftedness, talent, innate or inherent skill sets or abilities that allow these people to do these exceptional things, while most people are over here and this is what we normally see? And the truth of the matter is, it's real simple. You can have all of these things that you can do, and there are a lot of different elements that come into play when you talk about success in any particular area. When you talk about what's going to happen, who's going to win, whatever's going to take place, there are all these different elements, but at the end, at the core, it's one thing: you're thinking. How you think is going to determine the outcome of your life. And one of my books is Your Mind is the Genesis of Your Destiny. And basically, it talks about how your thoughts are the seeds that produce your future. And you can't get around it. It's how you think. Not just the little thoughts that come up, but the underlying thoughts, the cognitions that lie deep within you that are expressive of your hidden beliefs, the beliefs that control what you expect out of life. They are producing thoughts. Those thoughts have energy that move and interact with the energy in the universe, with the energy in other people. You got mirroring neurons in which your thoughts are actually mirroring the neurons and thoughts of other people. And so your thoughts and your thinking are huge. Now, your thoughts are produced by the belief system that's governed by your current paradigm. Your paradigm can be seen as the lens through which you view life. You know, how you look at the world, how do you feel the world impacts your life? How do you feel as far as your ability, capacity, and power and strength to impact the world? You know, you got some people that believe that they are here to impact the world. They believe that they're designed and built to impact the world. They don't see the world as a force moving against them that they have no control. Some people view life in the sense that life is not happening for them, it's happening for them, or it's responding to them. And so they understand that if they control how they move in this world, they control the outcome they get. Now, they can't control every little thing that happens because other people are involved in this, but they can control how they respond. They can control what they expect. They can control what they demand. And so they have an idea that I'm here to be an impact on the world. The world is not here to impact me. I'm here to impact the world. And so they take on the world in a different light. But on the other side, you got people who have what I call a victim mentality. The world is happening. Life is happening. They're completely out of control. They totally surrendered their personal sovereignty. They are waiting on somebody to fix their problems. They're waiting on somebody to give them an answer. They're waiting on somebody to provide them with an opportunity. Well, that very thinking is what holds them in place, because see, you don't get what you get out of life by waiting on someone else to do it for you. You get what you get out of life by deciding this is what I want and I'm going to do it. Now, When you make up in your mind that this is what you want, you got some things that come along with it. And again, this is your thinking. When I have something I want in life, I make up in my mind I'm going to get it. Then I make a commitment to having it. When I make the commitment to having it, now I have to honor the commitment. See, a lot of people want it, but they don't want it bad enough to make a commitment to it, because see, commitment comes with some longevity, and longevity has demand. Longevity says that you're going to have to push through this hard time. Longevity says you're going to have to be willing to endure some ridicule. Longevity says that there are going to be people who are going to laugh at you, talk behind your back, be negative. Longevity says you're going to experience delay, disappointment, frustration. Longevity said it doesn't come easy, but it comes when you stay with it. And see, not most people are doing that. We live in a microwave society in which we expect everything to happen now. If it doesn't happen now, it's not meant to be. And because we will only accept what happens now, we get what we get at the moment. So we have a very short mind frame that we wrap around our reality. What we see is what we get. So we keep seeing where we're at. We keep reproducing it because we refuse to step outside of the box of the moment and see beyond the moment to see what's possible. Because when we do that, then the demands of what it takes to have that thing that's possible steps into place, and most people aren't one. You see, if you don't want it bad enough, if your why isn't big enough, then you're not going to be willing to put in the work it takes to have it. See, it's going to take some patience. You're not going to get it overnight. You have very few people that you can literally sit up and say had something 1 minute and then the next minute they had nothing that they didn't build up to. Now you have people that all of a sudden just seem like they came out of nowhere. But how many years behind the scenes before you ever saw them that they put in the work? Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is a prime example, and another one is Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart put 19 years in before any of you guys knew his name, of being told no, of being in these little small places where you got 5 people showing up and you doing your routine. 19 years of that before you ever knew who he was. I mean, think about how long that is before you even know who a guy is. These guys you think popping up and you're thinking they're 22, 23, they've been putting time in what people have been telling them no, but they have in their mindset, this is who I am. This is what I'm going to be. I'm not going to fail. I'm going to keep on. I refuse to accept this momentary failure as being final. See, failure isn't truly failure until you accept it as being final, but it comes from a paradigm. Now, in order to change your thinking, you got to shift paradigm. This is where most people come in. Most people will say their affirmations you give them, but they don't come with any true change. They just come with repeating it. See, the mind hasn't accepted it yet. The mind hasn't actually engaged it yet. And if you don't get your mind in alignment with what you say you want, you're never going to have it. It's not what you say you want. It's not what you feel you want. It's what you can get your mind in alignment and agreement with, so that you are moving with the force of your mind behind you, because your mind is the most powerful force in the universe. And I mean that unequivocally. The mind is going to dictate what you have. Your mind is literally the genesis or the origin of your destiny. What you're producing from your mind is controlling what you're getting, whether you see it or not. You can sit up and make all the excuses in the world why you're where you're at. You can blame that person. You can blame this person. You can talk about all this other stuff. But at the end of the day, there were some decisions you made based on your thinking that have you here. Some people have limited beliefs. They have had a paradigm where people have shaped what they can expect and what they believe. And I'm not even finna do this with you today, dude. But anyway, my baby brother's on here, and so we're gonna ignore him because he's crazy. But anyway, look, check this out. You have a pattern of beliefs. And these beliefs were given to you over time, whether it's through experience, whether it was through your parents, whether it was through watching other people do it or not be able to do it. There's a thing called vicarious learned helplessness. You have learned helplessness, which is a situation in which you try something over and over and over again. And because you can never get it done, you just assume that it's impossible and you become helpless in it and you stop trying. But there's also vicarious learned helplessness, where you've watched other people try so long that you've automatically been convinced that it's impossible and you never try. You've seen your parents try to work out of poverty and never come out of poverty. So you assume that poverty is simply your lot in life and that no matter how hard you try, you're never going to get out of it. So you never even engage the idea of wealth building. Engage the idea of doing something different with your finances. Engage the idea. You've been told that your creative side, whether it's in art, whether it's in music, whether it's in poetry, whether it's in writing, whatever it is, you've been told that that's a pipe dream. So you never pursue it. You never go after it. You see a few people make it, but you see all these people crash and burn in it. And so you buy into that limited belief that it's not for you. So you never really pursue it. You never put energy and effort into it. You're not willing to go the long haul. See, the longevity of having something that you can be passionate about and engaged in requires some commitment. And commitment has to be honored at a level that most people aren't simply willing to do, but it all boils down to your thinking. How are you thinking about your current situation? What are you thinking about your current situation? What are you sitting up and and looking at where you're at and saying about your situation? Are you saying that I'm just not good at that? Be careful of your self-talk. You've heard me say that before. Watch your self-talk, but your self-talk is a reflection of your thinking. Your thinking is a reflection of your limited beliefs and your paradigm. You know, I'm not good at that. We'll become good at it. That's absolutely nothing you can learn. There used to be a time that we used to believe that by the age of 5, you were pretty much hardwired in who you were going to be. If you were smart, you were smart. If you weren't, you weren't. If you were outgoing, you were outgoing. If you were an introvert, you were introvert. And all of these things were hardwired into your brain by the age of 5. Now we understand that there's this thing called neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity says that every encounter, every time you engage something, you're creating new synaptic connections or neural connections, and these neurons, they fire together. They literally fire, and there's a saying that says neurons that fire together wire together. So you're literally creating these neural receptors or connections that hold these memories and beliefs. So you can literally get rid of an old belief that's not serving you well and create a new belief. You can go from poverty is my lot in life to I can build wealth if I put my mind to it. And you can literally do that, but you've got to address the belief. You've got to address the paradigm. What paradigm is shaping your life? Is it a paradigm of victimology where everything you look at is somebody doing something to you and you have no control over it and you're just hoping somebody comes along and gives you a better chance, gives you a better life, gives you a better opportunity? Or is it a mindset that sits up and says, if I want it, I can have it if I'm willing to put in the work? See, a lot of us don't want to put in the work. So we're not looking at the opportunity. We're looking for someone to pave a path for us that we don't have to work hard to have the things we want to have. That path does not exist. You've got to put in the work. You've got to pay your dues. You've got to sit up and do things that you don't want to do. You've got to sit up. I tell people all the time, you know, my most successful YouTube channel, when I first started, I had probably 10, 15, 20 videos on it. And the only consistent listener or viewer I had was a troll talking about how sorry my channel was. Now I've got more than 1,000 videos on the same channel. I've got close to 10,000 subscribers and growing. And it's not one of those rapid growing type of things because it's content that's substantial. It's content that's silent. It's nothing sensational about it. It's nothing that you get them go, oh man, I got to share. This is for people who really want to do something, that want to be a change, that want to have something going on. I've got several channels. And you start somewhere and you look at it. What if I'd have stood up and I'd have took it? Man, the only person I got watching me is a dude that's just banging me up, telling me how trifling and sorry my channel is. But I sit up and I said, no, I know what I have. I know my value. I know what I'm capable of. I've always been able to make things happen where it didn't seem like anything was going to happen. So I kept making videos, kept getting better at it. See what happened? I kept learning. I kept reading on how to create videos. I kept reading on how long my videos should be, how I should promote my videos, where I share my videos. I kept going. And then the one thing that I always kept saying is I'm going to stay true to who I am. I'm not going to try to go out and be somebody I'm not. I'm not going to try to go out and do something different. And I'm going to be me. I'm going to share who I am with the world. And then I'm going to make people's lives better by having access to them. They're going to come get what I have to offer. And that's what's going to happen. And now we're looking at it. And I'm down the road now, over 1,000 videos on that one channel. I have multiple channels on YouTube now. But on that channel, and all of my channels are monetized. So it goes from, okay, a guy sitting up talking about how horrible my channel is and that it sucks and nobody watches me, that the best video I got 10 views. I got videos now. I still don't do like these viral cats, but I got views with 30,000. I got videos with 30,000 views. To me, with what I do, that's a start. Now, at some point, I'm hoping that will grow, and I'm going to keep working on it. I'm going to keep pushing it. And the reason I'm sitting in front of you now, that's one more video in which I'm giving someone something that they can turn into something positive in their life. That's my goal, to be a positive influence. But what if I would have stopped? What if I couldn't, because I wasn't seeing immediate results, I gave up? Now, here's the thing, and this is how I think. I told you the first half of my life is about me, the second half of my life is about building a legacy. Well, let me show you how this works. And I have a friend who has followed me for some time, been very supportive of the work I do in a number of different areas. And the one thing he said is, my biggest fear, Doc, is that people won't know the value of who you are and what you bring to the table until you're gone. And to a certain extent, that's going to be the case, especially in certain areas I work in. That's going to be the case. But check that out. When that happens, I'm okay with that. I don't have to reap the benefits directly in everything I do. But if I'm planting seeds that will feed my grandchildren, not just financially, but intellectually, emotionally, culturally, that my grandchildren and my great grandchildren will come along and say, man, this is what Pawpaw used to do. Man, this is my Pawpaw. He did this, he did this. He wrote 20 books. Well, hopefully by then I will have written more. But, you know, just that type of thing. So it's going to be there. You know, it's something that I can leave behind that's going to still have value after I'm gone, that will still be a part of what takes care of my family. It's not always in currency. Sometimes it's in the substance and the value of the things that you leave and you plant. But you got to have the right mindset. That's where you've got to sit up and change. You've got to create the paradigm shift. Look, we could talk about paradigm shifts all day long, but if you don't create it, that's why you've got people and you look at it and say, oh my God, they had so much talent, but they didn't make it. Oh my God, they had all the right resources, all the right connections, and they didn't make it. Man, it just seemed like everything was laid out for them and they didn't make it. Then you look over this person and there was nothing there. They shouldn't have made it. Everything about them said they shouldn't have made it, but they made it. The mindset. Success is 80% psychology, 80% how you think, 80% how you view the world, 80% how you allow your mind to shape your behavior, your habits, your rituals, how much work you're willing to put in based on how you approach things from here. The strategies and all that stuff play a role. And once you get up into success, how you move up amongst the ranks of the elite will be determined about strategy. But you got to have the work ethic. You got to have the focus. You got to have the right mindset. If you don't have the right mindset, you're going to keep tripping over yourself. You're going to keep setting yourself up for the same failures, the same situations, the same realities over and over again. You keep asking, how did I start here 20 years ago and I'm in the same situation I was 20 years ago? It's because of your thinking. You never changed your thinking. You may have took on someone else's strategy. It's just like someone who's going to the gym to work out. If you come to me, my first business I ever started, oh my God, how long ago, was as a fitness trainer. You know, being an athlete, I said, hey, this is a good thing to get into. I love working out. People always asking me to help them. Why not do it professionally? So that's what I did. I started at that time, it was Stay Fit Fitness and Training. Now the business has evolved into Master Fitness 21. But anyway, it's still going. And the thing is, when I first got started, there were people who would come to me and I would get them going. I get them in the gym, get them working out, get them results. And then they would move on and I would see them a year later and they were back to where they started or worse. Why? Because while I gave them the right strategy, I gave them the right plan, I put them in the most optimal position to sit up and become what they wanted to become. It never changed in their mind. They never took on the identity of being healthy, the identity of being fit, the identity of being optimally defined in mental, emotional, psychological, and physical expression. So when they were turned loose, they automatically regressed back into who they really were, who they believed and thought they were, how they saw themselves. Until you change this, you can do everything you want to do and you'll get a certain level of success, but you're going to always fall back until you change your thinking. You've got to change your thinking if you want to change your results. You can sit up and have the best strategy in the world and it'll work for a while, but you're going to revert back to old behaviors and you change your thinking. You change that by shifting your paradigm. So I'm going to leave you with that. I hope that has left you something. I have a done thing for those of you who haven't had a chance to work with me. I see some people on here who's actually worked with me. It's always good to see you, but if you haven't worked with me and you're looking for a way to get in, and maybe you're not at a point financially or in time where you can work with me one-on-one, I created a program about a year ago called The Power of Paradigms. It's like the first thing I take my clients through is the shifting of the idea of who you are in this world and the impact you have on the world. I've created that. That's what I have. Those people who take the program are literally able to shift paradigms, complete paradigmatic shifts that change how you view life. If you don't have that shift, you're not going to get the results, because you can talk about changing your thinking, but if you're operating from the same paradigm, how you view the world, if you see the world as something that happens to you, if you see life as something that happens to you, you can talk about doing everything else, and you can have all this great conversation. You can even sit up and forcefully, through the will, control the thoughts you have in your consciousness. The problem is this: your conscious mind controls about and manages about 2,000 bits of information per second. And your non-conscious or subconscious mind manages about 4 billion bits of information per second. We are believed to have somewhere between 60 and 70,000 thoughts per day. 95% to 97% of those thoughts are coming in the subconscious level. So if you don't shift paradigms, if you don't deal with the limiting beliefs that are part of the cognitions that lie below the surface, you can sit up and talk consciously about this at times. You've said it. Depending on who you're talking to, you know all the right things to say when you're talking to somebody. But when you're by yourself, you know what you're thinking. You know what your self-talk is like. You know what you say about yourself when you're having your general conversation. Yeah, you know the right things to say at the right moment, but that's one blip in a whole day. What are your thoughts over the course of the day reflect? You've got to shift that paradigm. There's a link in here. This is what I want you to do. If you are serious about shifting paradigms, I love this program because this is what it's going to do. You're going to go, you're out of the program. When you're out of the program, you're going to be contacted by the support team. They're going to set up a time for you to have your first session with me. This program it's an autonomous program. You walk yourself through the program, but you get to work with me in the beginning. We're going to connect again in the middle of the program, see where you're progressing, to talk you through it, to tell you how to do some things differently if you're not doing them the right way. And then we're going to come together at the end to see what type of progress you made and what we can do from that point on. But this program is where I send a lot of people who want to work with me but aren't yet ready financially, and they get involved. The link is there. You get there, go there. I look forward to working with you, but you've got to take the time and invest in shifting your paradigms. Until you do that, you can have all the opportunities in the world. The thing is, what I found is when two people shift the paradigms, they don't even recognize 90% of the opportunities that are in front of them, much less be able to take advantage of them and stick with it. It's like, I wish. What you're wishing for is right there. Take it. Do something with it. But as long as you're sitting up with a paradigm that you need somebody to line it out for you, wake it out for you, open up the door and say, man, I just see this awesome gift of talent in you, and why don't you come on over here and do this, and I'll pay you to do this. That's not the reality. Every now and then somebody comes along and somebody sees that. Most of the time, you got to forge your way through things. You got to create an environment for you to be successful. And that comes from knowing who you are on the inside. And that comes from, I tell people all the time, if you're believing God, believe in the universe, or whatever, however you view the superior intellect of the universe, God will only meet you at the level of your expectations. The universe will only meet you at the level of your expectations. Life will only meet you at the level of your expectations. Whatever you're expecting at the highest level is all you'll ever get. If what you expect is struggle, you're going to struggle. If what you expect is poverty, you're going to have lack. If what you expect is difficult, moment after difficult moment, that's what you're going to encounter. You will never experience anything beyond your expectations. And the way you control your expectations is by controlling your thinking. With that being said, I'm going to jump out of here. I got a lot to do, but again, go check out the Power Paradigms course. Get it. I would love to sit down with those 3 sessions along with that entire course that you're going to take on and watch what happens. And that's it for now. I will say this, as I always say, look, live your life on full so that you die on E. Live your life on full. Don't die with one dream inside of you, untapped. Don't die with one book that's inside of you, unwritten. Don't die with one message that you want to share with the world inside of you, one invention, one creation, a company, whatever it is that God has planted on side of you, and the seed of you that you've been setting aside because you believe that there's something else you got to do. For you have a responsibility to your creator to optimize your potential. That's your number one responsibility on this planet, is to live life at fullest of your potential, the fullest links, expansion, and possibilities associated with your potential. That's it. That is it. You're not supposed to die with unactualized potential. With that being said, I got to get out of here. It's been great. You guys have an unbelievable day, and I'll talk to you soon.